a blast tonight. Sister and brother rocking the flow, sharing all the things you need to know. Kathy and Kenny always in the mix. Pop culture, fun fix to fix. Pop culture kids, podcast crew. Tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone. It's for everyone. I brought some for everyone. Pop culture kids, podcast crew. Tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone.
It's Saturday night
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture.
with Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, and happy Sunday evening. It is Pop Culture Kids coming to you live on a Sunday evening from the North and the South. Me from North Carolina, Kenny from South Jersey. How are you this evening, my brother?
I am doing just dandy, just fine. I am. I'm fine. How are you doing today?
I am good. I am good. I'll say from Hurricane Helene, it was pretty funky and nasty on Friday. Um, School went virtual, and actually, we are going to be virtual tomorrow as well, because so many people are without power. I lost power just for a little bit, like it flickered on and off. Unfortunately, when it flickered off, so my thermostat went off, and I didn't even
Ooh,
realize it till I came in from a run today, and I was like, "Wow, it's sticky kind of in here. What gives?" And evidently, that's when I realized, "Oh wait, my thermostat's not." And I'm like, "Oh, I hope nothing's broken, but it's working. It's fine. We're broadcasting, so I have power, so that's a good thing. So I am thankful for that."
that's a
But
plus. That's a
it's
plus.
not. It hasn't been that great for people in Western Carolina. I'm kind of like between Western and Central California or the Piedmont, but I know there were some areas um, further west where roads were completely destroyed and just really
Oh
bad,
wow.
just really nasty. Um, up in certain parts. Good evening, Lisa. Hi, how are you? This Sunday evening, we are all good. So yeah, it's been pretty bad, and I can't even imagine what the people in Florida are dealing with. But I know we had some flooding. I tried to run Saturday, and the pathway that I usually run on was so muddy. I had to like stop. I did like a mile and a quarter, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not running in this mud. My sneakers were all dirty, and you know, um, yeah, my white socks were black. I was like, or brown rather, from the mud. I'm like, I'm
See
done.
that? I don't have that same problem up here. Not because that it's not raining like that. It's just because I don't run.
You don't run unless somebody's chasing you. I get it. I get
Unless
it.
somebody's chasing me, and you know what? The way I am right now, at my age, they're gonna catch me.
Good evening, Derek. Yes, and again, it's all good where I am. I'm in Statesville. We're about 45 minutes to an hour, either north of Charlotte, south of Winston Salem, and again, for the most part, where I am in Statesville, we have power. We are all good. not severe flooding. Now, I haven't been out on a lot of the roads, or I haven't, you know, ventured out. I went to the park, and I know there's one street that's kind of parallel to my development that trees fall down all the time. So I haven't been on that road because whenever we have a storm with any wind that kicks up, trees are down. But the county I'm in is very long. And in the northern parts of the county, I think a lot of people are still without power. And again, I'm under a different power company than where I used to live. And we used to go out, our power went out all the time, but we're where I am, we're doing well. But the thing that worries me, Kenny, and I don't know where you fall on this. I'm not going on a political rant or anything, but you have to admit that in the last 10 to 15 years, these severe weather occurrences have been increasing. And again, due to the warmer ocean climates, which to me would suggest global warming and again, man's impact on Earth. Now, as far as Earth is concerned, I think Earth is going to be fine. It's been here billions of years, it'll be here billions of years more. We just might not be here because, again, we keep making these
I,
choices.
I
And
think a
see,
lot of it is,
I drive a hybrid, so don't go by me. I drive
yeah.
a plug-in half electrical vehicle, so don't go by me.
Well, here's where I fall. Here's where I fall on this. Here's where I fall on this.
hmm
Um, and I had a friend say this to me one time, and I kind of got to agree. Um, you know, we are like the Earth is always going to be here.
hmm
It's going to be here, until whenever. It's us that's not going to
So
be
it
here,
ain't.
like you said, and we are like a virus on the Earth. That's maybe the Earth is trying to get rid of the virus right now with all these different storms because we are doing a good job of polluting it and making it unlivable. So, it's not the animals should be going extinct as much as it should probably be like us because we're the ones, if we don't start and change and do the right thing, you know, um,
And
it seems the more advanced
I'm so
technology
torn on
gets,
this too because on some things I think I do a pretty good job, but then on other things I know I'm bad because I know I use paper plates and plastic forks and stuff that probably is not good for the environment. And I know up there they don't do plastic bags anymore, but down here they do them like crazy. I have I have this plastic bag monster that's like
you
growing in my
know,
cupboard because what do you do with those things? They're just
you
everywhere.
get rid of them.
But so I know, and again, even they say like even though I eat meat, I can't help it. I tried to go vegan, but my gosh, sausage it's just too good. I can't give up the pork. But anyway,
Ribs, hey, you know what? Speaking of meat and eating meat,
mhm. And
uh, it,
for
it,
my birthday, I did not get a single rib. I'm like,
I didn't get why I'm lying. I got
you
ribs that
got
day.
ribs. I saw you sneaking upstairs with a whole plate of ribs. I didn't get a single rib. I realized that like days later.
Look, look, they gave me the ribs and said, take the ribs in the house. I took the ribs in the house and they said, cut the ribs. And Auntie Bon cut the ribs.
I
And
didn't get a
he said they
single
needed more. They
solitary
needed to put
rib.
them put them in the oven. And I said, those two ribs look just fine because I like my meat rare anyway. Those two look just fine. And I took them and you kind of looked at me and I kind of just turned my back and huddled it up and went upstairs.
I looked at you and I didn't even think, you know what? I need to go back and get me a rib. And I didn't get a rib.
No, no, I got a rib. I got, and then I came up
I
here. I came up
should have got a
here.
rib.
And George and Jess were up here with the babies, and I ate them right in front of them. And they said, "Are they ready?" I said, "Oh well, no, these aren't done yet. They put them in they
Lisa,
put
those
them in
ribs
they
look
put them
fast.
in cook them more."
All right, I
And they
wasn't the
said,
only one. Lisa didn't get any either, but I would
"Hey,
think.
you well, man. I was at the right place at the right time. I knew what I was doing."
Anyway, this is Pop Culture Kids. It's our weekly podcast, and we talk about some pop culture news as well as a topic. And actually, I put black exploitation films, but really it was called black exploitation films. But before all that, we want to start off as we do most of our episodes with some pop culture news. I feel like I need like a stinger or some music to go with this, and
Like
yeah,
a little typewriter in the back, like they used to have in the old.
oh, like a typewriter sound effect. Oh, that sounds
Yeah, like
cool.
a
I need
typewriter
that. Let me
they used
see
to
if
have
I can
in the
find
old
one.
days,
I need a
and they
typewriter.
go like this, like breaking news. Here it is.
Yeah, that would be
You know,
cool.
like, breaking news, like it's just coming in. And
Yeah,
I
I
get
like that.
a little wire to hang from my ear too. Breaking news, this coming in.
This just in.
This this just in.
I will make a mental note to find us a typewriter sound effect.
Like
I
like
probably can
like
find one
here
now.
you go. Breaking news. This just in. Johnson and Johnson is decided to go into bankruptcy because they're not selling Diddy any more baby oil. The
But
problem
you
is that
know
they're
what?
losing.
Can I just say, can I just not to go down the Diddy path, but that is flipping bizarre to have that much baby oil and lubricant. So you up to something that ain't too kosher. But in any case, years ago at BJ's, I used to be able to get, and I don't have puffy levels, but I love baby oil, and that's what I use to moisturize my skin. I it's just I just enjoy it. And I've always enjoyed baby oil. And right now it's so expensive and daggone it, Puffy probably jacked up the prices because he had his own private stock of it. But but I've even
You
resulted
got a
to
lot of
like,
baby oil
hey
over there,
kid,
Kathy?
I go down your route. I have to buy the Equate brand that so but in any case, it's like I used to get it at BJ's and you could get like a pack of two of them for like a reasonable amount. It was like under $6 or something. But now just one of them is like over $5 and it's a small bottle and it's just too expensive. I'm like, I'm gonna have to slap on some Vaseline or something just to cover
Got a lot of baby
cover up
oil over
the
there,
ashy
do you, Kathy?
spots.
Got a lot of baby oil over there, huh?
Well, and again, I think I
What kind
put
of parties you having?
I'm not having free
I'm just
coffee. I
asking.
just like baby oil. It just feels good on
Okay,
my skin. And
understood.
and I don't have an allergic reaction to it, so it's perfect for me.
Okay.
A little baby oil with some olive vero, and I'm good.
Kathy, stop it. Stop it. This is not looking good for you.
What?
Not, this is not looking good for you,
Daggone
man.
it. Why did Puffy have to make baby oil a bad thing?
I'm just
That's a
saying,
bad
you're
thing.
like, I like a lot of baby oil with some good, some this, that, and the other. Oh yeah, I like it. No, Kat, this is not looking good for you at all. Okay, you need to stop right there.
I just,
Um, you know,
oh, shea butter. See, and see, that's that pricey stuff. I ain't got that kind of money. I gotta buy the cheap Equate baby oil, and I wonder if they're
okay.
gonna put all like, does all that go into evidence or like what happens
Look,
to all that
you
baby?
got look. You know you got a lot of baby oil when the FBI come and take it from you. That's a lot of baby oil. The FBI starts looking at your baby oil purchases. That's a lot of that.
It's
So
almost like the medication. There was like some medications now you can only buy but so much because they used it to make I don't know what's the
yeah.
drug fit
Well,
no,
they got everything locked up in Walmart now anyway.
right
All the
whatever
drugstores
drug they made
are
on
locked in.
Breaking Bad. I can't
Yes.
remember, but anyway, let's move on to pop culture news as we talk about, and I'll work on the sound effect for next week as we
Okay.
talk
So
about.
starting off with pop culture news.
And why
Uh,
does all of our pop culture news have to start in a sad note with someone?
I know. I'm coming with something next week. Something good is going to happen. I have something to start off with. It's not sad, but we have two sad notes here. First sad note is Catherine Bernice
Oh, you must
Glover.
have added something because I didn't have. Did you add something within the last
No, that's
four?
always been there.
Okay.
Bernice has always been there. Cat, we need you to
Need you
rap.
to rap.
Cat,
Cat.
we need you to rap. Everyone knows Cat
Don't give us
from
your slow because we know you know. Oh, talk to me, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? As soon as I hear her name, that's all you think about, you know?
Yeah, that's all you think about. But she was Prince's dancer. She was born in 1962, July 24th. She passed away September 24th in 2024. And pretty much she's known for the not the well, Love Sexy. She's on the Love Sexy album on
Mhm.
Alphabet Street. She's on the Sign of the Times, and you see her in the Sign of the Times videos and everything like that. She was very talented. She was a dancer. She was on Star Search as a dancer, I believe. She was offered a chance to dance for Bowie,
Mhm.
but she turned that down so she could dance for Prince.
Oh, nice.
That was always one thing she wanted to do. So she had a chance to be either with Bowie or Prince. So either way, you were greatness, man.
She's
And,
good
she
hand.
passed away. I don't think the cause of her death has been revealed yet, but it has been um, revealed that she passed away among family at home.
Mm.
So maybe she was sick. I think there was some sickness in her past. So rest in peace to
I don't
Cat.
Rest in peace, Cat Glover. I don't know. It just kind of depresses me to think of now. And again, I know she wasn't the megastar like folks like Prince and Michael Jackson, but the '80s was such this precious time to me in music history. It seems like it comes around every like I don't know. Um, every decade has its signatures. Like to me, as far as music is concerned, I guess the '80s because that's when I kind of came of age from teenager to a young adult. But also, I tend to love the music of the '60s. But to have so many people from the '80s that were so big at the time no longer with us just kind of makes me very sad. You know,
Yeah, well,
Michael, Whitney, George Michael. It's like
yeah, Bowie, Prince,
Bowie, Prince.
and now we lost Tito too last week. So there you go.
Yeah.
Also, in passing news, we have Dame Maggie Smith passes away at the age of 89.
Okay, see, I didn't
September.
have on the list.
You didn't have Dame Maggie Smith? I'm
I didn't
sorry.
have Dame Maggie Smith. Did you just add that?
I
Because
not
I
just.
just
I think
heard
I
it
had that
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah,
I
I
might
just
have had that
heard it yesterday. Mhm.
yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
But Dame Maggie Smith passed away. You know her from uh, different
The Harry
movies.
Potter movie.
Yeah, one of them being Downtown Abbey. She was also in Sister Act, and she was in Harry Potter movies.
Mm.
So, and Angel Holt has a.
Oh, has a comment. Okay, I think she's jumping on to our topic for tonight, and we're not quite there yet, but we're going to talk
We're
about
gonna get there. We're
Black
gonna get there. And we have Pam Grier in the
exploitation.
lineup, of course. You can't have black quotation movies without having Pam Grier. Next on our list of things going on, Linda Perry and Shailene Woodley are working on a Janis Joplin biopic about her last days,
Mm. It seems like
which is interesting.
several people have tried to work on a biopic about Janis Joplin, but it hasn't happened. I can't remember. There was another actress that was involved with kind of like a biopic, and it was almost believed that J- you know Janis Joplin or her spirit doesn't even want a biopic done because so many different roadblocks came in the way and it never got made. Because I think there was talk
Well,
one time about Madonna being in one, and there was somebody else.
right. I don't think I'd want to see Madonna play Janis Joplin.
Mm.
I don't think that's something I need to see.
No, no.
Vocally, it wouldn't even work. But I think one of the things here is her last days. I've read about her last days
Mm.
before, and apparently she was very depressed. She felt very alone. It was one of the things where you have a celebrity of world renown, but yet they feel very alone. And she was the kind of person who needed attention, and she had lovers that were supposed to come over, but because of her destructive behavior and drugs, both the lovers decided not to come, and that's when she took too much and died.
It's just so sad. So many people who have such great talent and again, have drugs or other forces take them away early and take away from that talent. It's just it's happened so much. It seems like people would learn from it and do differently, but
Yeah,
a lot
they
of
don't
times
learn.
at the root of it is, again, a lot of mental health issues that don't get addressed. And even though performing could be this great outlet, if you don't address the root causes, then yeah, you're Janis Joplin and you're dying. Was she in the 27 Club? I don't know. I know
Yes,
the show about
Janis Joplin was in the 27 Club. Yes,
27 Club. And
she was in the 27
also, that
Club.
club is so amazing because some of those people have such unbelievable amounts of talent to die so young. But anyway, God has a
But
plan,
yeah,
He has a purpose. But let's go on with tonight's topic. Are you
okay.
are you
So
are
let's
you
start off. Let's start off this way.
okay?
Tonight's topic is about black exploitation films, and
Exploitation. Da-da-da. I don't know. For some reason, I keep hearing the theme song for like da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da.
well, here's the thing. The list I made up is very specific, and when I made the list, I had some help from our parents because there was some movies on the list that I thought did not belong.
So, what were you
What?
qualifying as a black exploitation film? Because it seems like a
Okay,
lot of these.
so one of the things I qualify as a black exploitation film is
Mhm.
that you had to have been made from like 68 to 75.
Okay, so that was like
You
the
couldn't,
prime time
yeah,
of.
that was like the time of those type of movies. And they had movies on there like I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which is a parody of a black exploitation. They had movies like Django,
See, I thought
which
I'm gonna get you, sucker would be on there, and I probably would
it
have
was
put
good,
Django.
but it's a parody that was made in the 80s. So it wasn't really a black exploitation film.
So
It's a
for this
parody.
for this list, these movies are all from 1968 to 1975.
Yeah, basically in that time frame. Because a lot of movies were in that time frame. Now they had some other movies on there that weren't quite at the sitting back with my parents who were our parents who were there at those times. We were there too, but we weren't as cognizant and
Well,
because we were
I think we
younger.
were too young to watch half of these movies back in the
But
early.
but we saw half of these movies. I remember seeing Superfly, Shaft. I remember seeing Cotton Comes to Harlem, and
Mm.
I remember, what I mean. So we seen these movies, back in those days, and I believe we saw Cotton. I believe at least I don't know if you were with me, but I saw Cotton Comes to Harlem in the theater.
I thought we saw it in the drive-in, not a drive-in. Oh,
We seen it driving out theater.
like I can't even
See, that's
remember
how
all
old we
the
are.
movies I saw in the
We
drive-in.
can't,
I do remember
we
Cornbread
can't
Earl and
remember
Big.
where we saw it. Yeah, we can't remember where we saw it, and it might have been a drive-in, and they don't even have those anymore. Look,
You
that's
know
how old
what?
we are.
The one thing we don't get anymore that we used to get when you went to the movies, you used to get two movies, like double
Yeah,
features. Why isn't that a thing anymore? Where you could see
I
like
don't know.
two movies, especially like at the drive-in. I remember you got two movies. A lot of time I was asleep for the second
Well,
movie, but
there's a drive-in in Jersey. There's a drive-in still in Jersey, in Vineland, New
still,
Jersey, where you can see. Yeah,
you know what?
where
That's
you
why
can see
Jersey
two
is
movies.
awesome.
You can see two
Drive-ins
movies.
and diners,
The, the, the,
drive-ins,
the
diners, and
drive-in
dives.
yes. And I was reading something today where Jersey is known for having the most diners.
Awesome, as it should be. I mean,
But
what's
remember
I love about
when we were
Jersey? I
kids?
mean, you don't have to pump your own gas, and it's usually cheaper than Philadelphia and New York to get gas. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it is. It is. And when you say about seeing two movies, and Lisa remember this, I remember when we were kids, we would go see something like Snoopy Comes Home and get Pippi Longstockings too.
I'll never forget the time we went to the movies and we went to see Airplane, and we got there late, and I remember because I think Kim and Joanne took us. It was like a bunch of us. It was like that went to the movies to see
Not the comedy Airplane.
the comedy Airplane.
I don't
And we
remember
got
that.
there
I
late,
wasn't.
and you were with us. You were. I
I
remember
don't
it.
remember.
I remember, but I
I don't
remember
remember.
we got there. We got there late, and I don't think we got it because we were kind of like, "What?" Like we didn't get the joke of it. But then we stayed because again, back then you could stay for the beginning of the movie, and then we wound up watching it all again. But I think we were laughing more because we got more of the jokes the second time around. You don't remember?
So back to black exploitation.
All right, Black
Um,
Station. Hmm.
black exploitation is an ethnic subgenre of the exploitation films that emerged in the United States during the early '70s when the combined momentum of the civil rights movement, the Black Power movement, and the Black Panthers spurred African American artists to reclaim the power of depiction of their ethnicity. And institutions like the UCLA to provide financial assistance to African American students to study filmmaking.
Oh, nice. So now
So that's
some of these
Wikipedia.
movies, some of these movies were directed by black directors, but a lot of times they weren't. Is that
A
correct?
lot of times they weren't.
Hmm.
A lot of times they were, they call them black exploitations. A lot of times because they were movies starring black people about the black struggle, but they weren't like written by black people.
Right.
So you had things, and this is also true during that time in comic books,
Hmm.
because also in comic books they would have these new black characters, and they would have these like, I guess up until like the '80s or '90s, comic books did not know how to write black characters at all. And you had Steamboat, who was a character in Shazam in the '30s that was so offensive, '30s and '40s, that was so offensive that a bunch of school kids wrote to the comic maker and said, "You got to stop publishing this because this character is, because back then when they drew a black character, it had like the stereotypical big lips and big eyes and talked very like not the way people should normally talk."
And
And then in the '70s, you had every character acting like they were like this big badass black guy who spoke street language and not regular English, and it wasn't a clear representation. And then in the late '80s, '90s, art, they started being more sensitive and started writing black people, people of color, the way they should be written in books. And up until the point, I remember there was a character in the '80s that pissed off a lot of Latino people because it was a Latino superhero, and they found him on a street corner breakdancing.
I
So, and there was a big thing about black characters also in comic books. Whereas, when you introduce a new character, it was, is he friend or is he foe? Is he hero or is he villain? He wound up being a hero, but you always had to, when you introduced a new black character, it was always like, is he the villain? So, not knowing how to write black characters, the characters of color, is something that is in movies and in writings and all through main uh, pop culture, if anything. So this is one of the things, and this is one of the problems that you also had in TV, because even in good times and shows like that, the black actors would have to say like, "Look, we wouldn't say this. This is not something we would say." And you had to, black actors had to kind of say something. And some of the shows they weren't allowed to say too much, but
I think I think what happens or what happened probably in that period of the 70s when you had the Black Power movement and songs like James Brown's Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, and that I think Hollywood might have recognized that wait, there is a market out there of uh, a part of the demographic that we're not serving. So their answer was to give us these black exploitation films, which was kind of their version of what they thought we were or wanted or needed. And that's primarily because even though some of these movies I think were written and directed by people of color. I think a lot of them weren't, as far as the writing and the direction of it. But it seems like it was a step that had to be taken in order to get to a place where you could have this parody movie, I'm going to get you, sucker, and also the movies of, I know you're not a Spike Lee or Tyler Perry fan,
I'm
but
a Spike Lee fan.
to get to the point where we could have a She's Gotta Have It or Do the Right Thing, or any number of the Tyler Perry movies, or other movies by Boys in the Hood, where we get a say in how we're represented and presented. So it's coming a long way, and I think it's still evolving. And even for other cultures that make up what this experiment we call America, still aren't getting, I think, a chance to be shown and represented in the ways that they, would prefer. I still think we have a long way to go for Latino and people of Latin heritage and their representation in the movies, as well as like Lin Manuel, what's his name? He can't do it all, but it's you need some other voices. You need to see. Uh,
I'm gonna correct you on that. I don't know why you think I'm not a Spike Lee fan. I am a Spike Lee fan.
okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I'm a big Spike Lee fan.
I'm a Spike Lee fan too,
I'm not a big Tyler
except
Perry fan because in actuality, I think Medea is kind of black exploitation, kind of sort of. I think Medea
yeah,
is kind
there's
of
an argument for that. I get
But we're
that.
gonna go right to our. We're gonna go right to
But,
our movie.
before, okay, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong camera. I keep forgetting to change the camera on this. I know you said, okay, you know what, I was gonna make a point and I changed my mind because I got to change that camera. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So we're gonna start with our movies right now, and we're gonna start off with Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, 1971. Simon Chuckster, Melvin Van Peebles, Herbert Scales. This was actually directed by Melvin Van Peebles.
Mm, okay,
I have
so
not seen this movie,
I
but
think
with
I
a name,
saw
but
it a long time ago, long time.
really, Sweetback's Badass Song.
Yep.
I put this on this because this to show you that some of these movies were directed by, they weren't always just not directed by black people. They were, and Melvin Van Peebles is already, known. That's him right there in that picture.
Right.
Uh,
And
pretty much known.
didn't his son make a remake or something with his son? Mario Van Peebles is his son.
I don't think he did he?
Like,
Unless you want to count Posse.
or
No,
maybe he's making a remake of Posse or a sequel to Posse. It seems
man,
like
it could
he
be that.
mentioned it in the news like a month or so ago. I can't remember.
Let, let me look into that and I'll get back to you next week.
Okay.
Next on our list is Blackula.
Blackula.
Now let me tell you something, man. And we bring up our cousins a lot, but Kim and Joanne are the reason that I sleep still with my neck covered because they told me that that the vampire was coming to get me, and Blackula was one of those vampires they used to tell me Blackula was coming to get me and bite my neck at night. So I'm a 57-year-old man that still covers my neck when I go to bed.
That's TMI. You know that, don't you?
I'm just saying.
You gotta know that.
This is
I didn't know that.
very traumatic for me to put Blackula on the list, but I had to put Blackula on the list.
Blackula was on the list. And who's that guy who starred in it? I don't recognize him.
William Marshall,
Hmm.
Vanilla McGee, and
And
Denise Nichols starred in Blackula.
Denise Nichols is still alive, isn't she? She used to be on
I
Rule 222,
Yes, I don't believe I
and I
think
think
she
she was
is.
married to Bill Withers.
I believe she is.
Okay, not still, but I think they were divorced, but I thought they were married.
Lisa's comment is that movie scared the heck out of me, out of us. No, that movie. That movie scared the neck out of us. The neck out of us because we.
And you know what's funny though? I think what's funny too is if you watch some of these movies now, and I don't know whether it's, you know, being older as an adult, but I'm just wondering. I know a lot of these movies don't hold up in time and they're almost laughable, but you know, that's just yeah. So,
Next on our list is yes, Denise Nichols is still alive. She's 80 years old,
oh wow, okay,
and she was
80,
married to Bill Withers at one point.
okay.
Next on our list is Coffey, a 1973 movie with Pam Grier,
Pam Grier. Good, and
Booker
actually,
Bradshaw, and Robert Duquois.
here's a question I pose for you because would Jackie Brown, which was the movie from Quentin Tarantino, would that be considered
No,
black a black
no,
exploitation film
no.
where he
It
brought
was
back?
not made in the 70s.
It was not made in the 70s. Okay, I
It was,
get
it was a ripoff. It's not an original, you know? Like they had certain movies on there that I just couldn't,
it. Hmm.
I couldn't say that they were, you can't put movies like Jackie Brown and Django and I'm going to get you sucker on this list because they weren't authentic black exploitation movies.
Okay, I hear you. I'm not mad at you.
Next, we have Free the Hard Way. I remember seeing this after the 70s, and I caught this one time a long time ago. But Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly. And this was directed by Gordon Parks Jr.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, this was directed by Gordon Parks Jr. Now this is a lineup right here that yeah, man, that is the hard way. I don't want to fight them guys.
That is
I
like
would those
ultimate.
guys came down knowing their reputation. If they came down the street and I was the bad guy, I was just here you go. Here's my gun. Here's my drugs. Here's everything. I quit. I give up.
I give up.
Just, just don't beat me. Don't kick me. Don't. I'm good. And who do you want me to tell on? I'm Diddy right now. I'll tell on everybody. Damn it.
Oh, now that's going to be a show when he goes to court. I
When
don't
he
know.
says, when he,
What's your thought? Do you think that he's actually even going to make it to court? I don't know. I'm getting those like,
no, he's gonna make it to court and he's gonna sing like a bird.
I don't think so.
Unless
I
they do
think
a
it's
Jeff
sad to
Epstein.
say. I don't know. I'm getting all kinds of
Unless they do a
Jeffrey
Jeff
Epstein
Epstein.
vibes. I'm
He
just
has a
going to
lot
throw
of
it out there.
people. He has a lot of people on lock on this stuff.
Hmm.
Like I said, there's rumor that might be why Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck broke up because Ben Affleck found out what she was doing and who she was
You know what?
doing.
I
How
saw
many people?
I saw a short the other day, yesterday, I think, when he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel asked him something about that he threatened or that oh wait, something about him and his girlfriend or ex or no, when he was with J Lo about having a like a threesome or foursome with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, and he got quiet for a second, and then he made a joke, and it was like, oh, that was a long pause. It was just like,
Who,
whoa,
who, who,
uh,
who did it?
Diddy, yeah, was on
Oh.
Jimmy Kimmel or something. Yeah, it was a short clip, but
Mm,
it just made you go.
mm. He got a lot to answer for. You got a lot to answer for. You're gonna tell. You're gonna tell.
I, I,
He's gonna
you
tell. He
say he's
looks like a
gonna
person.
tell, but I think there's so many people in some high places that he might not live to tell. Is all I'm saying. Unfortunately,
Yeah, well,
sad to say.
you know. Well,
I'm kind of thinking that's what's going to happen.
back to our list. Three the Hard Way was done in 1974, and
Mhm.
it brings us to another one. Trouble Man in 1972, starring Robert Hooks, Paul Winfield, and Paul White.
Oh my gosh, Robert Hooks.
Robert
I
Hooks,
remember him. He was awesome
Trouble Man,
because
and I
his son
believe they
was an
did the
actor
soundtrack to
too,
Trouble
right?
Man too. Huh?
His son was an actor as well because he starred
Yes.
in Aaron Loves Angela with Irene Cara. I actually remember
Well,
watching.
his son was also in the White Shadow TV show, wasn't he?
The White Shadow. Oh my God. Talk about going back to the 70s. I used to love me some White Shadow.
Yeah, we all loved White Shadow. We all cried when Jackson died.
Now, why don't you see reruns of The White Shadow anymore on TV? That's.
Yeah, I don't know. Next, we have Dolomite, 1975. Rudy Ray Moore,
Oh my God.
DeVille Martin, and Jerry Jones. Rudy Ray Moore, who Eddie Murphy did a biopic about Rudy Ray Moore
Oh,
on Netflix,
hmm
which was pretty good. And Eddie Murphy said he met Rudy Ray Moore before he passed, and Rudy Ray Moore wanted to do something with Eddie Murphy together on film, and it probably never came to pass. But it never came to pass. But still, but Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite, and you can see that story on. We're not up there yet.
I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, I'm not a rabbit. You're not a frog. Let's not jump ahead.
Okay.
Um,
I'm sorry.
but up bump. That's when you get the drum together. But Dolomite was in 1975, and if you could catch the special starring, if you could catch the movie starring Eddie Murphy on Netflix, it'll kind of map out everything and how he came to be and how he
Do you know
came to
what the
do what he.
name of the movie was?
I forget the name of the movie. What was the name of that movie? I had to look it up,
Okay. We
and
don't
I will tell
we
you
don't
by the end of
need
the
to
show.
go back up and
Next, we have 1973, The
you
Mac.
roll you roll on so fast. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go so fast.
I
Hey,
know.
Scooby Light, how you doing today?
Oh, you're just
The Mac stars Max Julian, Don Gordon, and Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Now, there's a story about the Mac and the
I didn't
Black
know Richard
Panthers.
Pryor was in this.
Yes, Richard Pryor was in the Mac.
Okay.
And there's a story about the Mac and the Black Panthers. The story was that to do this movie, and they filmed it, I guess, in California, and to do this movie, they used some real gangsters in the movie, and they used real scenes in the movie and real locations. And some of the places that they used, they had to get approved by the Black Panthers. And I don't think everything was always approved. So there was a little clash in there, but eventually they got the movie done. You know, it's a weird thing, but the Mac was a gangster movie, and they used real gangsters, kind of like the Michael Jackson Beat It video, but it's
That's
a
so
little
weird
bit more.
that you said that because that's exactly what I was thinking about. I was thinking about, oh, that's almost like when they recorded Bad and they used the real gang members.
Yeah, yeah. So you know,
And actually, that Eddie Murphy movie, I did look it up. It was called Dolomite is My Name. That was that.
yeah,
That
don't mind me running. Yeah, I knew it was something simple like that. Yeah, but it was a good movie actually. It was a pretty good movie.
yeah.
Next, we
But
have
Bond
1970.
or not? Was it Julian Bond that was in the? I mean, Max Julian. I'm getting
Yeah,
confused.
Max Julian.
Max Julian, is he alive?
No,
I keep. Oh, he's not. Okay. I'm just
no, Max Julian is not alive.
okay.
He
Now
died a few
this
years ago.
movie I remember definitely. I remember this movie.
Cotton Comes to Harlem,
I,
1970.
Harlem.
Godfrey Cambridge, Raymond St. Jock, and Calvin Lockhart. And
Oh,
Cotton Comes to
that
Harlem.
part. Yeah.
Calvin Lockhart was the bad guy in Cotton Comes to Harlem,
Mm.
who got his just ends at the end of the movie.
Now I noticed you didn't include like because we had talked about like the Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier movies. You didn't include those in this roundup.
I didn't include those because I was sitting down with our parents and I was going to include some of those, and I was told not to because they weren't considered black exploitation movies.
Okay.
A lot of the black exploitation movies that we have here, they're about urban life and fighting crime and stuff like that. Those were comedies, number one. And those were, I think, produced
And
by,
so that puts a different definition though on the black exploitation movie that it had to
yeah,
be like an action kind of, because
Yeah.
and that's probably why I did the thing at the beginning with the explosions or whatever, because I think of when you say black exploitation, I kind of think of as a genre that they were usually action movies, and I guess that's because the top two that we're about to come into contact with are just that. But before we do, I just want to take the time that I didn't take earlier to thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's Pop Culture Kids, Kathy and Kenny. We do it every Sunday night. We so appreciate you. In addition to the Sunday night live show that you're watching and commenting on, which we do on YouTube, we're also on Who's Got Next Radio, and that airs on Tuesday, along with Kenny's Words Out Productions. So, again, we thank you and we appreciate the support. If you're watching us on YouTube, a thumbs up would be great. Subscribe to the channel so that you get a notification. Hit the bell when we go live so that you can be a part of the conversation and the topic as we take them on every Sunday night. Also, be sure to check the comments and follow us on social media, Instagram, and all the things. But moving on with our last two black exploitation films of the early 70s. Of course, I don't know. I thought this one was going to be number one. I don't know. Let's before we say it, can folks in the comment, what do you think is the number one black exploitation film of this period between like 1963 to 1975 that we're focused on? What do you think is number one? I think somebody might have mentioned one of them earlier because I think there's two top movies before we do the top two. Uh, Free Deacon O'Malley. Now, Derek, I don't know where that. Free Deacon O'Malley. What was? Oh wait, a young Bill Duke was in Cotton Comes to Harlem. Yes, yes, you are so right. All right, Lisa is guessing Superfly as
That's
the
number one.
top movie, and that would be a good guess. And any other guesses from our studio audience on the top black exploitation movie to hit our list today? Is it Superfly or is it? All right, what's the next one, Kenny? Let's go.
Number two is Superfly. Superfly. Boom, boom. I'm gonna
Gonna make
it.
them by and by.
Boom, boom, boom.
And you know
Only
what? I don't know what makes this uh this I think these top two movies, the one thing that they have over some of the other movies on this list are some banging soundtracks.
yes, yes. And
And
that's one reason why they're on this list. I mean, the Curtis Mayfield soundtrack, Ryan O'Neal playing Priest, is legendary. It's just absolutely legendary. But the soundtrack that Curtis Mayfield adds to this movie, Freddy's Dead, Superfly, it's just so
yeah,
much going on with the soundtrack.
that soundtrack
Uh,
is
that makes it one of
fire.
the best. That makes it one of the best soundtracks ever for a movie.
Yeah.
It's listed up there with the with the Purple Rains and the you know whoever else has a good. It's mentioned up there with the Purple Rains and Grease Twos of the world on soundtrack.
Oh, I know that'll get us a copyright strike, but I can't help it. I love just just those few
Wow.
little
Yeah,
Little Child Running Wild, just some good oh, Pusher Man, that was a good
yeah,
soundtrack.
Pusha Man. I love Pusha
Freddy's
Man.
Dead. Freddy's
Pusha Man's
Dead.
one of the songs on my playlist.
That's what I said. Yeah,
What
that
about across 110th Street?
shout out to Curtis Mayfield cuz
Yeah.
man.
So you want to go to number one?
Do we want to go to one? How about Lisa, that's a good one. You didn't include that on the list. Across
No,
100.
I did not. Look, we only have an hour. I can't do everything. We have an hour, okay? We have an hour.
but that's a good one. Yeah, that one should have been on the list, Kenny. I have to say that
I
was
can't do everything, man. We got an hour. I saw it. I passed by it. I wasn't, hey.
because to me that movie screams black exploitation. Black exploitation. I don't know.
Um, yeah, it probably does too. But hey, but we did mention it right now, of course, 110th Street. So make sure you go see, of course, 110th Street when you look at black exploitation movies. Black Caesar,
Oh,
Hell
Black
Up in
Caesar.
Harlem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So number
what else did
one,
you? Before we go to number one, what else did you leave off the list? I'd love to see. Well, now this one I hadn't heard of, Lisa. I don't know. Hell up in Harlem.
Black Caesar, I've heard of.
Black Caesar, I know, but Hell up in Harlem, I don't know that one. Oh, Black Caesar, that's another good one. That could have been on the list. I I'm not okay. I'm sorry. All right. Hey,
Next week, you and Lisa make the list, okay? How's that? How about we pick a topic? You and Lisa make the list next week, okay?
we just might. Hey, we're due for a special guest. We might need to make the list.
Shh, you make me curse something. All right, so number one, because y'all done made me sick. Number one, 1972, Shaft, Richard
Jack,
Roundtree, the Isaac Hayes title track and the soundtrack from Isaac Hayes. But Shaft, that cat Shaft, is a bad mother.
shut your mouth.
You're supposed to come faster than that to stop me from cursing.
Okay.
You know,
I'm a little slow
Kamala
today.
Harris is
I
ready to
can't help it. I'm a
stop the
little
person.
slow. That cat
But
shaft is
Kamala
a
Harris is ready
bad
to
mother.
make Kamala Harris is able not to say the word because she can't stop herself from saying this. But I will say it, so you got to stop me.
I don't have the right buttons to stop you. Oh wait, that's not going to stop you. No, I don't have the right button.
This is stop you. Oops, sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
I don't have the right button to stop you.
Shaft is 1971. It is a staple in black exploitation movie.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just started pressing buttons and I went a little.
I know. I'm not cursing now though. So
Just I couldn't
Shaft
get
in
myself out of the
1971
button.
starred Richard Roundtree. Now, here's the best thing about Shaft. Before Richard Roundtree passed away, I think earlier this year, I think it was, he was also part of the reboot of Shaft starring Samuel Jackson. So in the first Shaft movie Sam Jackson did, he played Sam Jackson's uncle. But in the second movie, he played Sam Jackson's father because at one point they say kind of, they don't give you the whole story, but they say kind of like Sam Jackson thought it was his uncle, but it was really his father. Some kind of weird family thing going on. But they had to do it that way because they had father, son, grandfather. So Shaft was the oldest. John Shaft was Sam Jackson, and then John Shaft Jr. was, the gentleman who played Shaft's son, uh, Sam Jackson's son. And that was good. The second one, I like the second one better than the first one because it was funny. I like funny action movies.
Funny action movies. Yeah, Richard
I like
Roundtree died almost a year ago in October 2023.
yes. I'm sorry, I said earlier
October
this year, but
24th.
yeah. So yeah, but Richard Roundtree, before he passed away, he was able to continue the Shaft legacy and kind of carry the torch on. And he was in the last Shaft movie, where he actually did some action in that movie and was a part of a shootout.
Oh wow.
And looked at the younger two Shaft men and said, "Y'all thought y'all was gonna do this without me. Y'all couldn't have did this without me." Because he was blowing people away. They had him climbing walls and jumping through windows and everything. Well, they had a stuntman jumping through windows, but still.
Oh yeah, always with the stunt with the stunt folks.
But that cat. But hey, he can still jump through windows because, as we all know, that cat Shaft is a bad mother.
Shut your mouth. Okay, I got it.
Talking about Chef. And they even use that line in the second movie.
Oh,
Of
of
course,
course.
Sam Jackson's ex-wife or whatever, or his baby mama, she was on a date with another guy, and Shaft, of course, barged in on a date to see who was coming in behind him or whatever, and they had to take the guy's car on a date, and they had to take it to another spot to save Junior, and the guy goes, "So that's John Shaft, huh? You know, I always heard Shaft was a bad mother." She goes, "Shut up." You have to see the movie. See the Shaft. See the last Shaft movie with Shaft's son. I might watch it tonight again. I don't know, but it's a funny movie.
Well, and again, he was also in the TV series Heroes, which I thought they were bringing that back, but I used to love that show. Or I loved the first season of it. I got caught up in the whole,
Yeah,
save the cheerleader,
the
save the
writers I
world
think
thing.
messed it up. I might rewatch that show. I think I might rewatch that.
You know what? We should have a rewatch party. I kind of actually the first season I thought was so great. I think it did lose a little steam after the first season, but
After you saved the cheerleader, there was nothing left to do.
right. It's like save the cheerleader, save what was it? Save the world, save the
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
save the cheerleader, save the world. And then after that happened, it was kind of like, okay, now what do you do? You know what? It reminds me of another sitcom. I actually made a comment on Facebook about it because they had a post about like I follow these different groups, and one of the groups I follow is like Gen X, even though technically I'm a baby boomer. But a lot of the stuff in I don't know, I'm like a late boomer, early Xer. I that's what I'm making up my own category. 1964, we're gonna be late boomers, early Xers. And
That's
in this
that's not
they had a thing about the TV show Soap. And I used to love that show, but and again, it suffered from the same thing as Heroes. The first season has such promise and such good writing, but then I think they wind up getting themselves into a corner that they couldn't get out of. And subsequent seasons didn't hold up quite as well. And I think that's what happened with Soap as well as with Heroes. It was a great idea, a great premise, and the writers couldn't go everywhere it needed to go.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying about that. But in
And
any
I
case,
and I, and I met her, the cheerleader, Hayden
oh,
Pantier. I
oh,
met her at a Comic Con, and I think I told the story on here before.
yeah, you did.
And my dumb butt asked her a question that was totally stupid. I said, you were in Heroes, and I loved you in Remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, which one did you like doing better, Heroes or Remember the Titans? And she looked at, "Psh, I got to act with Denzel Washington. Remember the Titans, of course."
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay, yeah. That wasn't the best question I could have asked you. I'm just gonna walk away
You
now.
wasted a question, but yeah,
I
just walk
wasted my
away, hang
questions.
your head,
Yeah,
and let it go.
yeah,
Let
yeah.
it go, Elsa. Let it go. Let it go, Elsa. Let it go. Anyway, okay. I don't know what I did with my. I can't find my. I can't find my uh rim shot. Oh, there it is.
There it is. There it is. So it is 9 o'clock, and we want to thank you all for joining us.
You're
We
awesome.
want to thank
Thank you.
you. We want to thank you for joining us. We're at the top of the hour right now. And next week, I have no idea what we're going to be talking about, but we're going to be talking about something. Next Sunday afternoon, if you're in the Jersey area, I will be performing at 2 o'clock at the Woodbury Porch Fest. And I will have some special
You
guests come with me on
perform on
stage.
porches a lot. Didn't you do a porch something this
I
week?
did a Porch Fest yesterday, too, yes.
Oh, okay.
I come with my bass and I perform and I play, and it's a good time for everybody.
All right.
So, but yeah, so next Sunday I'm going to be at the Woodbury Porch Fest, and I have the address somewhere where I'm going to be playing. But if you follow my page, you'll see where I'm going to be playing, and come out and have a good time. It should be fun.
Okay, and check out the description for links to. Oh, I don't know if I put the links in. I might not have put the links in today because I was
Yeah,
spazzing. But you can look at any of our posts and our descriptions and find the links to our social media. I'm usually K Walk Comedy on a lot of social media. And Kenny, you're usually what? Kenny KP
Kenny
Walker,
KP Walker Jr.
spoken word.
Uh, Kenny KP Walker Jr. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Um,
You know
I'm
what?
all over the
I'm
place.
going to get off of X. I don't know. I'm
I'm
thinking,
not even on it. I think I was on it at one point.
yeah,
I don't care
I'm
to
done
be
with
on
it.
it really,
Because
so I'm not.
we were
I'm
dealing
going
with
to be
the
in
hurricane.
Woodbury.
And
Hold on a second. In Woodbury, I'm going to be at 11 North Maple Street at 2 o'clock in Woodbury, New Jersey next Sunday. That's 11 North Maple Street at 2 o'clock next Sunday in Woodbury, New Jersey.
already for the three folks watching, we appreciate you so much. And thanks for hanging out with us on Pop Culture Kids. As always, imparting, we wish you love, peace, and pop culture.
God bless your soul and keep living peace.
Bye.
Kathy and Kenny here to say, pop culture fun in every way. Music, TV, movies.
Thank you for
all
geeking out
right.
with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.
Sister and brother rocking the flow, sharing all the things you need to know. Kathy and Kenny always in the mix. Pop culture fun fix to fix. Pop culture kids podcast crew, tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone. Simple for everyone. I brought some for everyone.